Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from The Federalist dated June 27th. And I've done a few videos about the censorship complex before. We're going to do another one here right now. So it says the Biden admin grew censorship complex to silence true but inconvenient malinformation, House committee shows. I love how it just keeps changing. It was misinformation, then it was disinformation, now it's malinformation. All right, so let's keep going here. So it says CISA outsourced its dystopian censorship regime to third-party nonprofits and colluded with big tech companies to suppress speech, because of course it did, because the Biden administration sucks. So article says, the Biden administration's war on so-called disinformation included a federal initiative to censor malinformation, information that is true, but inconvenient to the Democrat ruling regime, which is what you've seen come out since a certain virus of unknown origins hit the last few years, is that people will come out and say true things, but a certain political party doesn't really like that you're saying these true things, so they dub it malinformation, and that gives them the right to tell you basically to F off. Your opinion doesn't count anymore because you're not speaking the kind of truth that they want. So on Monday, it says lawmakers on the House Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government published an interim report on the Department of Homeland Security's disinformation programs within the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which is that CISA that we saw before. As according to the report, CISA metastasized into the nerve center of the federal government's domestic surveillance and censorship operations on social media and has steadily expanded the scope of its censorship since 2018. I'd like to hear one of our presidential candidates on the right say that we're going to completely dissolve this thing when we get into office. Executive order or not, I don't care. However you can get rid of it because it's not helping anybody out. As in 2022 and 2023, in response to growing public and private criticism of CISA's unconstitutional behavior, CISA attempted to camouflage its activities, duplicitously claiming it serves a purely informational role, the report reads, which is clearly not true. Says CISA ultimately outsourced its dystopian censorship regime to third-party nonprofits, and that's probably part of the problem, and colluded with big tech companies, which is another part of the problem, to suppress information deemed incorrect or harmful to regime narratives. CISA, lawmakers wrote, quote, exploited its connections with big tech and government-funded nonprofits to censor by proxy in order to circumvent the First Amendment's prohibition against government-induced censorship, end quote. Well, actually, it continues. It says, this included the creation of reporting portals, which funneled misinformation reports directly to social media platforms, the report says. The government's disinformation efforts extended to the censorship of malinformation, defined by CISA as based on fact, but used out of context to mislead, harm, or manipulate. So it sounds like basically malinformation is the Democrats' game. That's kind of what they do. So it says, in other words, malinformation is factual information that is objectionable not because it is false or untruthful, but because it is provided without adequate context. Context is determined by the government, lawmakers explain, and that's a problem because the government should not be telling you what you should be believing. So according to their report, CISA tried to disguise the true nature of the agency's work by removing references to surveillance and censorship from its website. President Joe Biden's Department of Justice also interfered with CISA Public Records' request to stonewall congressional oversight, because of course they did, because again, they're pieces of garbage. The Select Subcommittee is still waiting on CISA's compliance with subpoenas. The Select Subcommittee held a hearing on the federal government's disinformation efforts in March, featuring two journalists behind the Twitter files, Substack reporters Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger. It says American taxpayers are unwittingly financing the growth and power of a censorship industrial complex run by America's scientific and technological elite, which endangers our liberties and democracy, Schellenberger told lawmakers. The censorship industrial complex combines established methods of psychological manipulation, some developed by the U.S. military during the global war on terror, with highly sophisticated tools from computer science. We learned Twitter, Facebook, Google, and other companies developed a formal system for taking in moderation requests from every corner of government, from the FBI, DHS, HHS, DOD, the Global Engagement Center at State, even the CIA, Taibbi added. A focus of this fast-growing network is making lists of people whose opinions, beliefs, associations, or sympathies are deemed misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation. That last term is just a euphemism for true but inconvenient. Right. It says the lawmakers made clear in their report Monday that the committee will continue to investigate CISA's and other executive branch agencies' entanglement with social media platforms. Like, isn't this a huge free speech violation? I mean, Jesus H, like, is there any way like a lawsuit could be put put forth against the government, like a class action lawsuit or something, just for stifling people's free speech. I mean, holy cow. And it concludes, the article says, the Department of Homeland Security isn't the only agency in the Biden administration engaged in the censorship industry. The Biden State Department funded a disinformation index that blacklisted conservative websites from major advertisers. Yeah, that's a problem. So what do you guys think about this? What do you think about this new, semi-new term, I should say, malinformation? And what do you think about the government still out there to censor anybody that has a wrong think or opinion? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.